What are the reasons that she's not being responsive to you and going cold? Well, here's the first one. Women and you have a lot of choices these days. Now that we have the internet, we've been able to connect with each other over online dating apps and other dating sites, or even just going on, Facebook or meetup.com or whatever is available to you today to go to events to meet people. There's all these options to meet people. So we kind of have this terrible paradox of choice mentality where we say, well, there's so many people to choose from, how do we choose? So it's very easy for a woman and yourself to be pickier in the dating arena. So they might be, again, this is all hypothetical and potential, they might be so picky because now they know, well, they can have, anyone because there's so many options out there that they're not choosing you, okay? So that's kind of one reason. I don't think it's necessarily to that extent, like that's their mentality, like they're like, oh, well, I have so many choices, I'm not going to pick this one. But they definitely see that, okay, maybe there's something they didn't like about the guy, and they said, you know what, I'm just going to pay attention to that mindset and say, forget him, because there's probably someone else out there who's going to have exactly what I'm looking for. Not a healthy mindset, but it's happening. Here's probably one of the biggest reasons why they're going cold. They're not excited by you. They're not excited by you. You're boring. You haven't triggered attraction. You haven't done anything to make this girl feel that spike of emotion when you're around her. You haven't built up that sexual tension with her. You haven't used any of the techniques that I've been teaching you on my channel. Or maybe you haven't been going through my system called Hooked, which you can get at getherhooked.com, shameless plug, description below, to learn all the ins and outs of what it takes for you to display your personality to be that attractive guy to women. A lot of guys, they're not putting themselves out there enough, so they don't feel comfortable in front of women, and they feel kind of shy, so they try to approach or they try to talk to a girl, they go on a first date from an app, and they're not optimizing and maximizing their potential to basically show off their best self. So this is showing a lack of excitement, and maybe a girl's somewhat excited and she doesn't want to reject you in the moment, or maybe she's thinking about, oh, she might like you, so she gives you her number only to find out later on that she was never really that interested, and she just moves on and she doesn't respond to you or doesn't agree to the date. So that's kind of like the general reason why she might not agree to it, and I think that's probably the number one reason, because if you were interesting, if you were able to trigger attraction, she would respond to you and want to meet up with you. Here's another one that guys aren't thinking about. They might be in the middle of dating other guys. I'm not saying that they have a boyfriend, but what I'm saying is they might be dating multiple guys. A lot of women these days, guys included, are dating multiple people. So maybe you come around and you kind of excite her a little bit, but she's still, dating this other guy who she's more interested in, who she's already been on 3 dates with. He's winning. Right? Could be the same thing. Could be the reverse. You could be one of the guys who's meeting a girl, you're on a 3rd date with her, another guy hits on her, and she's kind of ignoring him because she's more interested in you. Her attention is more on that person, the person that she's more interested in at the moment. Again, maybe she's dating multiple people. Women are doing that these days. Okay, so you have to understand that you might not be the priority, even though in the moment she seemed excited. Which kind of leads me to the next one. This is something very interesting. This is actually something I learned from one of the instructors in RSD when I was watching some of their videos. And it's not the concept that I learned, but I love the way that they labeled it, okay? So they say that sometimes women get caught up in the emotions of the moment, okay? And it's funny because I saw this happening with myself in my own journey. I know it's happening with other guys. But what a great way to describe it. They get caught up in the emotions of the moment. A lot of guys get this too. Again, I'm not just trying to single out women here, but I'm talking to you about why women are going cold, right? So they get really excited by you in the moment. Maybe they had a drink. Maybe they're just out having a good time. Maybe they just had a good day that day, and they meet you and it's all exciting and they think, yeah, I'll give this guy my number. Maybe you even made out with her. Maybe you even took her home that night. It's all exciting. But when you're texting her the next day or a week later or whatever, she's not in that same mentality that she was when you're now texting her. Again, I think this is a little bit more rare, but it absolutely happens, right? Is that she was excited then, but now she's getting a text from you. She's getting off of work. She's tired. It's 8 o'clock. She sort of remembers the interaction with you. It was kind of nice. but you know what, she's just dealing with other things and she just will get to that later and she kind of forgets about you. I also think that that one also combines with one of the earlier things I said with the fact that you weren't that exciting. You know, I don't think that if you were really hardcore, like doing a great job and she was attracted to you, that she's so caught up in the emotions of the moment that she'll just push you aside. I think that she was really excited then, but also maybe not fully into it, just enough to be excited in that moment, and then later on she kind of loses it and is like, okay, you know, forget about this guy. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to throw women under the bus here. I'm not trying to, like I said, single them out, but this happens. You know, they do get guys excited. They can lead a person on, but you got to think about it this way. I know that you would do it too. If you had a lot of women who were approaching you all the time, the same exact thing would happen. You'd give your number to some, you wouldn't to others, you reject some, reject others. You know, it'd be easier for you to meet women because they're coming to you, and that would be that kind of reality. And the same thing would happen. Maybe you'd respond, sometimes you wouldn't. You'd only kind of want to go for the ones that you're really excited for. So try to understand where she's coming from. Now, I don't think it's cool to give someone your number and then not respond. I would hope that that person just doesn't do that. But some women and people are just scared to reject people. So I'm not saying it's right, but understand that's happening and that's why it's happening. If you don't want to be boring and you want to actually get these women to respond, I want you to check out the Hooked program that I mentioned earlier at getherhooked.com. Again, the description is down below, and it teaches you how to be that exciting guy. I have some techniques to teach you how to display your personality in a way that is really attractive to women without changing who you are. And it's really cool because it works and it helps you build that tension with who you are as a person. So check it out, getherhooked.com, and I'll see you on the next video.